everyone, this side Diksha Ahuja. Welcome back to my channel Economic Zone by Diksha Ahuja. So in this video, I have come up with Unit 2 of Macroeconomics, Money and Banking, Class 12, and we're gonna do revision of the entire unit. Right, in part 1 and part 2 of the chapter in my previous videos, I have covered up all the chapters content deeply, right? But in this video, I will touch all the topics, right, accurately, and so that you can watch my first and second video and have a recapitulation for this. So in this chapter, we firstly understood what is money. Money is working as a medium of exchange, deferred payments, unit of value, and store of value as well. So money has many functions which has come up against the barter system. Barter system was a direct exchange of goods and services which was present before the British rule, right? Barter system had certain limitations such as lack of double coincidence of bonds and lack of store of value because perishable products are depreciable, right? So because of the limitations of barter system, there was an introduction of money. So after that, we understood what is money supply. It is a stock of money available in the economy. जो पैसा इकोनॉमी में अभी सर्कुलेट हो रहा है at a point of time. So money supply is a stock variable, right, which is calculated at a point of time. Then we understood the components of money supply. We understood that money supply has various measures, M1, M2, M3, M4, and the main measure is actually M1, that includes the main money. Main money means currency plus demand deposit. Currency is also known as currency notes and coins are also known as three words. High powered money, which is given by the central bank, which is under law, acceptable for all debts. Legal tender, or you can say the high powered money, legal tender, and fiat money. These are the three names we have given to the currency, notes and coins, right? And the other part of the money supply is demand deposits. So these are net demand deposits. Here, time deposits are not included. Only the saving account and current account are included, and interbank deposits are also not included. Then we understood what is banking, central bank, commercial bank, all the financial institutions which have the authority to accept deposits and advance loans, right? According to that, we understood credit creation, that means money creation by commercial banks. You understood what is money multiplier, kitne times money multiply hoga economy mein, that depends on two things. Remember, the credit creation depends on two things. What is the legal reserve ratio, how much we are keeping as reserves and how much we are giving as loans, and what is my primary deposit, what is my initial deposit. Given these two things, we'll solve for the numerical. For watch it further, to watch it properly in deep, you can watch my part 2 of the chapter. So legal reserve ratio and primary deposit are the main components through which we can solve the numerical example, and this is one of the important question of the board exam. Then we understood who is the central bank of the country, RBI, and nationalization happened in 1969, and we understood the various functions of central bank. So firstly, we understood that central bank is having the function of currency authority. Currency authority says that the central bank is having the sole authority, sole right of issuing the currency. Nobody else can issue the currency. One thing, the coins are issued by Ministry of Finance, Government of India, right? Otherwise, all the currency is being printed by RBI only. Why it is done? To maintain the uniformity, to maintain the public faith in the currency, right? Next, banker to the government. The central bank works as a banker to the government, that is the central government. Let's say it works as three things: banker, agent, and advisor. How banker? Because the central government has a current account in central bank, right? RBI में government का current account होता है. It maintains all the transactions from there, and it works as agent because it maintains the receipts and payment expenditure of the government. And lastly, it advises the government on financial and monetary matters. Bankers, bank and supervision. Basically, the central bank works as a banker of all other banks, all other commercial banks, by helping them in the loan amount. Basically, 3 points we did in this topic. Lender of last resort, the commercial bank do not get any loan from anywhere. If in that case, who gives the loan to commercial bank? Central bank provides loan as the lender of last resort if nobody is giving the loans to commercial bank when in the time of insolvency, right? Okay, one more thing, they keep cash reserve. CRR, cash reserve ratio, is being kept with central bank, all the commercial banks are required to keep a minimum percentage with RBI also. And it also supervises and mergers, amalgamations of the commercial banks. Next, it is a keeper of the foreign exchange reserves. Basically, the central bank is obliged to keep a minimum percentage of foreign exchange reserves, dollars, gold reserves with them. And last is control of credit. There are quantitative and qualitative instruments, right? Control of credit is being done by repo rate, reverse repo rate, open market operations. We will understand this topic deeply in our next unit of the macroeconomics, that is determination of income, output and employment. So this the topic is for 2020, right? It's cancelled from this money and banking, right? Quantitative and qualitative instruments are cancelled for this year only. So then also we will do this topic in determination unit. Till then, I've revised the entire chapter. Till then, bye bye, see ya. We'll continue with a new chapter in the next video. Bye bye.